Welcome to the Collectors Con Card Show in beautiful Tampa, Florida, where the weather is a warm 81 degrees and the cards on the show floor are even hotter. Join me as I make some scorching hot deals over the next few days. This episode of Sports Card Investor is brought to you by eBay. eBay is here for the card collectors with a trick for every trade, like advanced tools for price checking with the Price Guide Beta within the eBay app, and up to 50% faster listing with Image Scan. Learn how collecting just got smarter at ebay.com/trading hub. So I made it onto the show floor, walking around and getting a sense of things right now. And I brought a couple of big cards with me that I might look to trade over the next day. That Justin Herbert Gold Kaboom, you've seen it on the channel before. It is at an all-time high right now in terms of its price. So if I get the right offer, I'd move it. And this LeBron, I love the LeBron Topps Chrome Refractors, but I've got a few of them. So if I need to use this as trade bait to get something really big, I'm willing to do it. We'll see if there's some trade deals to be made, or if not, I might just be paying cash to get some big cards. Yeah, so I continue to remain high on the soccer card market. You've heard me talk about it on the show before, but soccer cards, if you go back before this year, there's still really low population compared to the other sports. We got the World Cup taking place late next year. I really think soccer, even though it's boomed a lot over the course of the last year, I think there's more boom in the future. So I actually wouldn't mind trading a few of my big cards to get some more cards from the soccer market. And there's no greater place for soccer than with Miss Sports Cards. Anna has always an awesome soccer collection, and you've delivered again today. You got some incredible things here. Tell me about this.
I know the kind of things that you like. I don't know if you could hear me yesterday. I know it was a little fuzzy, but some of these were the ones I actually featured on the show. I don't know which one caught your eye because I heard you say something.
The Christian Pulisic. I mean, that's pretty sweet. A 1 out of 10.
Correct. So this is the
Gold
Eminence,
ink.
Gold Ink Eminence.
That's awesome.
Okay. This one's kind of cool. It's low pop. It's also numbered as well, but it's his jersey number.
Nice. Oh,
so
nice.
It's 10 out of 25.
Nice. You were showing off some Alex Morgans too. I know you love Alex Morgan.
I do. I'm willing to share with the world. There's not a lot of her out there.
Right.
So the blue one, I'm willing to part ways with.
The tie-dye one, you're keeping.
But this is the first time I've ever even put out the blue,
Gotcha.
to be honest, because it was in the collection.
Right. Can I see the Pulisic?
Yeah.
Just a beautiful card with a gold ink auto. Have you thought about grading it? It's obviously got some edge damage and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think with Eminence, it's just better because they're sealed as is.
Yeah.
Most, I'm not gonna say everybody, and kind of leave it as is.
Yeah.
With
it used to be my theory that anything sealed, like flawless or anything, you should just leave as is. But
I think people do value that quality though, when it's still it's like a manufacturer's sealed.
Right. I got to think about that one. So you want 1,500 for that?
I can work with you a little bit.
Okay. All right. Miss Sports Cards is going to make some deals here. It seems like. Black Jaded Wolf. She's come over here as my personal consultant to help me with my negotiation right here. Don't try to come in here and snag it. We're doing a deal here, Sharon. Okay. If you had that card, would you grade that, or would you just leave it encased? If you were like,
if it's not an 8+ and up, I wouldn't take it out.
Using market movers to see what recent Christian Pulisic Eminence cards have gone for. These are, of course, extremely rare cards. The out of 5, that's a little bit different. That's a signature salutes. That was the 5 out of 5 signature salutes. And that one was a best offer for $1,200. This one's out of 10, but it's more of like a
I know the variants make it hard.
Lot of
so
variants,
even with like the patch autos, there's a jumbo patch auto.
Gotcha.
And then of course we know how many colors are in the patch matter and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of factors in the Eminence world. I realized it was a lot more complicated than I thought.
So would you do both this and that for $1,500 then?
For you, Geoff.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you. All right, we got a deal done. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me take this one out.
Picked up a Pulisic, also getting an Alex Morgan as part of the deal as well to make the whole thing work.
Oh my God. Did you see? So it's funny because I post cards on my Instagram, right? This one I think had the highest likes.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. And you sure you're okay parting with it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think somehow it's going to end up where I'd be even happier later.
Okay. I think
That's the
that's
way the universe works, you
I
know?
think that is true. Wow.
But
Well, thank you for this.
yeah, no
This
problem.
is wonderful. So that card caught my eye, a Chris Paul rookie card. Chris Paul has been such a good player for many years. His cards really aren't that valuable, yet the Suns are in position to perhaps have another really, really special season this year. That's a really rare card, low population, and a 10 auto plus a 10 PSA grade. To me, that would be a nice one to add to my collection right now before we get too deep into the NBA season. So you bought this card raw and recently had this graded.
Yes.
Okay. So a pop 1 as a 10 with an auto 10. Super rare Chris Paul rookie card with a really nice on-card auto. $1,500 feels inexpensive for that card given what it is. I'm seeing raw sales of this card, you know, bouncing around quite a bit. 202, 549, 290. The last one of these that I could find that sold graded was a 9.5 that sold during Phoenix's run to the finals. So I want to see what the market has done since that point in time using some of Chris Paul's more popular rookie cards as a guide. Would you do $12.50 on that?
I mean, I'd come a little bit off it, but I'd want 14.
14?
Yeah.
I'll do 14 for it.
Okay.
That's fair. Appreciate it.
Good deal.
All right. I think I got an absolute steal on this card. I'm so happy I just picked it up. And here's why. The last sale of this card graded was all the way back in July at a BGS 9.5 sold for $2,199. Now that was during Phoenix's run to the finals. All of Chris Paul's cards are down since then. I went into Market Movers and I looked at some of his more common cards in Market Movers, his more common rookie cards, to see how down they are since that date. And they're down about 50%. Okay, but even so, that would mean that this card in a BGS 9.5 today would sell for around $1,100. Well, a PSA 10 is probably going to sell for about double what the BGS 9.5 is worth. That might put it at around $2,200. But this is a pop 1. That's going to put an extra premium on this card. I think this card right now at an open auction would probably fetch $2,500 or more. I just picked it up for $1,400 on the show floor. I think I got a great deal, and if Phoenix keeps playing the way that they have, this card could easily be worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or more by the time the season comes to an end. All right, guys, so I walked by Chris's booth, and the first thing that caught my eye was his incredible selection of Kabooms and Kaboom Golds. You know how I love those cards. But then something totally different caught my eye. I'm walking over here, and he's got a box out of additional cards that he's looking to sell. This one right here, not a big card, 2019 Panini Chronicles Ja Morant. But this card looked familiar to me. This card has been #1 in the Sports Card Investor app for the last few days. And so I went into the app and swiped up to look at recent sales. Look at what this card has been selling for. Look at what the card's marked at. Chris, I'm not going to buy it off of you, but I definitely think you got to remark that thing. I don't want to rip you off and like make this a bad deal for you.
Right.
But this card's been selling for around $200 recently.
That's awesome.
You got to mark for 40.
Appreciate that.
That's been a hot card that's gone up.
Right.
So definitely put a new sticker
stuff.
on that
Yeah.
before someone else comes around.
Will do. Thanks,
Awesome.
man.
Now the reason why this card has gone up so much is it actually features the image of young Dolph right behind Ja Morant. And unfortunately, young Dolph was murdered recently. But sometimes that type of thing makes a card iconic. This is the way now that some of his fans are remembering him. That has caused this card's prices to shoot to the moon. That's why it's #1 in the Sports Card Investor app right now. Those are the deals you can find sometimes at card shows if you're walking around the floor, if you understand the current price information on the hobby. So far, I'm really digging this show. The Collectors Con here in Tampa, they've done a really nice job with the show floor setup. They got a little something for everyone. The energy is starting to pick up as we're getting later into the evening here. I think this is going to be a pretty solid show.
Have you heard of Backyard Breaks?
I believe I've heard of you guys. I've not broken with you guys before.
Would you come on and break with us?
I will. Would you like to be part of my new app? Have you seen my new app?
No, I haven't.
I
Can you
just dropped my
go
app
and
this
plug
week.
yourself?
It's
Do it
called.
right
I'm going to
now.
plug it right now. It's called the Hits app, ladies and gentlemen. It's a brand new app that we literally.
Holy shit, that's you.
The
That's
Hits.
the social media app that looks like
Sorry,
TikTok for hits.
It is.
Good job.
Boom.
That's it.
Is
That's
that your
me.
sales
That's
pitch?
my app.
That's a good elevator pitch. You gotta
boom.
give me that.
That's my thing. So it's an app that is an endless stream of the biggest sports card pulls of all time by the biggest breakers. It's really, really sweet. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I love
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, I feel like it's a little early for that. You seem like a nice guy. Hey guys, I'm here with Hal, the Little Tatum collector on Instagram, and he's offering me a trade deal that I'm kind of intrigued by, right? So he's after a few of my cards. In particular, he really likes this LaMelo Kaboom card that I picked up at the National. You might remember that from my National videos. He's got some interesting cards here we're looking at. He's got an incredible Donovan Mitchell RPA from Flawless, number /5, which is pretty awesome. True Gem Plus grading on that. And you know, these cards, these are a couple of cards that have low prices today. They're really, really, really risky. I mean, you want to talk about really risky. Is he ever going to play again? But then again, potential of a lot of upside if he does. So here's the challenge that I have. These cards have a good amount of value. He's asking for more for this card than what this one's worth, but this one's got a lot more liquidity. The Kabooms are easy to sell in and out of. People love the Kabooms. They've been escalating in value. So we'll see what happens. All right, so right now I'm trying to figure out what a fair price would be in trade value for this particular card. This card in raw condition last sold in February for $8,500, but February was the height of the sports card market. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at another important Donovan Mitchell card, his Prism Silver, but it's a card that has a lot more transaction volume. So I can see how his Prism Silvers have changed in price since February to get a sense of how down those are and how down this one might be if it were to sell today. So Donovan Mitchell's Prism Silvers are down, are today about a third of what they were in February. This is a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. Back in February, his Prism Silvers were going for as much as $2,800, several sales around $2,500, $2,700, etc. Most recent sale, $717. That's like between a third and a fourth of what they were going for back in February. So you said this last sold for $8,500 raw in February?
Correct, yeah.
I mean, if you're going off the Prism Silver radar, this should probably sell for like 2,500 to 3,000 today, raw.
But the thing is, I don't know if that follows the same trend as Prism Silvers.
It is a higher end card.
It's a higher end card, and like, you know, they just don't fall on the same pattern, right?
I think that's fair, but I do think it indicates how soft the Donovan Mitchell market has gotten, as well as just, you know, obviously modern basketball in general has been beat up since February. Meanwhile, the Kabooms have continuously gone up and up and up, right?
Yep.
Those have been just absolutely red hot. I mean, here would be my offer. It's you know, I'm asking for a lot in return, but it's because this card is obviously just been going up and up and is really liquid, while you know, a lot of these cards have been dipping and aren't as liquid. So my ask would be for these four for that.
Ooh. I'd do it if you kick the Luka out.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking that. I was like, would I do it before I brought the Luka over? I was like, would I do it for these three?
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's a huge risk. These two, right? Because I don't think I'm like between like 8 and 10 on this, and this one I know is a little over 11 and seems to be going up. So like, would I buy these for somewhere between, you know, if I put that at 8, then these would have to essentially make up a little over 3,000. Would I buy those for 3,000? No, right? If it's at 10, then okay, you know, I would probably buy those for 1,000, right?
Yeah.
But like, so that's why I kind of brought this over, because at least it's a little more of like it's giving me a card that's at least more liquid, even if it's totally dipping.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'd rather just hold the Mitchell and hope for like a crazy playoff year. Right, because he does have like a 50-point games every playoffs, and like, you know, if he does have another 50-point game, you know, price might spike.
What if I did this and threw in 1,000 cash?
Nah, I don't think
Still
I would
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty firm on removing Luka.
Okay.
And
you don't want to touch the Luka.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, dollar-wise, this is probably fair.
Because realistically, if I were to, you know, take this card and I wanted cash for it, I probably can't get 11K cash. I'm somewhere like around 10K flat.
Sure. Yeah, if you were to sell it at the show, yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
so
you'd end up paying fees.
and
you
if I
sell
end
it
up
online.
selling these two, I'm really at like this one for 8K, and
Right.
I'd rather hold that for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful Mitchell card. It is. What is your bottom line on that? 10?
Yeah, around there. I'd be willing to work with cash, because if I get this, the whole point of me getting this is because it's fluid, right? I'll have to go sell this.
I totally get where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
respect that you want to hold firmer on that card. I don't know. I'm curious. In the comments out there, let me know. Would you have done a trade where would you have traded a LaMelo Kaboom to get a Donovan Mitchell RPA with maybe a little bit of extra thrown in? Would you have done it? I was willing to do it, but I needed a lot extra thrown in to get the deal done. I got a little nervous, and he, of course, didn't want to put in quite what I wanted on top of this to get the deal done. I don't know. Curious to see what you think out there, and who knows? Maybe one of us will have a change of heart tonight, and we
Yep.
can get something done tomorrow.
Yep.
It was awesome to meet you.
Nice meeting
Al,
you, man.
Pleasure trying to work out a trade, and I might see you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Take care. It's the end of day one at Collectors Con, and the dealers are now packing up. I didn't get that big trade deal done, but it was a good day nonetheless. I bought some great things on the show floor. And there's always tomorrow. Maybe I'll get that deal done tomorrow, and if not, I'm sure I'll find some other good deals along the way. Tune in tomorrow to see what the next day holds.